Good afternoon, Idle Champions. I'm Chris Dupuy, the live service manager for Idle Champions, and your host for the live stream for the next 3 weeks, as our lovely friend Dylan is off to Hawaii with both Pax Plague and an allergic reaction. So he's not having a good start of the week. But if you're gonna have a bad start of the week, you might as well do it in Hawaii. So we are here from the lovely Victoria, BC offices here for Codename Entertainment, and we're going to talk all about Idle Champions. We've got a ton of stuff to talk about, the biggest of which is the Core 12 rebalance, which just launched yesterday. Rebalances to most of the Core 12 champions that everyone starts out with, and we're going to play through them today and have a little bit of fun learning about them together. We've got some announcements. Let's see. First off, next week, we are not going to be in our normal slot. We're going to be hosting a vodcast during our normal Thursday stream because there's no power at the office next week. On Thursday, they're going to shut our power off, so we're all going to play D&D by candlelight and not stream. But I have booked time on Friday, the 12th, from 9 to 12. So the live stream next week is not going to be on Thursday. It's going to be Friday from 9 to 12. So everybody wake up early and join me for a coffee chat next Friday. Let's see, what else do we have? Ewok China is giving away a bunch of Naeli codes. So the Champion Naeli skin, Ewok China has graciously offered up some extra codes they have and is giving them away on Reddit. Either Erica or Clive will post the link to the Reddit thread so you can get your hands on a Champion Naeli code from the WizKids Dungeon of the Mad Mage booster pack that's out now in stores. In addition to launching Core 12, yesterday we launched on WebGL platforms. So for those of you that don't know, WebGL is a system by which you can play through games on browsers. So now you can play Idle Champions in your browser. So if Steam is blocked wherever you are, you can load up the Codename Games website, our new portal at games.codenameentertainment.com. You can also go to Congregate and Armor Games and now play Idle Champions in your browser. So go check it out, maybe start a new adventure, or come try us out for the first time. We're really excited about bringing in some new players into the game and continuing to do some updates and have an awesome time playing Idle Champions. And then finally, the last thing we put out yesterday, we put out a ton of stuff yesterday, it was very busy. We released a new Explorers pack on all platforms except for consoles. Consoles, the Explorers pack will be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. And I apologize for the delay. That's on me. It's our first DLC on console, and I didn't realize there were extra steps. Well, I knew there were going to be extra steps, but there's a lot of extra steps. So it will be coming to consoles in the next couple of weeks, but on Steam, iPad, Android, and WebGL platforms, you can pick up the Explorers pack. It is a $10 US dollar DLC. It contains a Champion Brunor skin, so a blinged out Brunor skin, which I'll be playing during the stream, as well as 16 chests with 2 guaranteed shinies and a bunch of potions and contracts and goodies for you. So hopefully that DLC pack is interesting, and if you're looking for the Champion Brunor skin, that's the way to get it. Let's see. Core 12. We also have some winners from our Gleam giveaway last week. They all won a signed DCA poster. Those winners are, drum roll as I scroll up and then move it over here so my line of sight is good. Positive Buy from Bengaluru, India. Lise C from Slaggles. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Denmark. And Mikhail from Bronx, USA. I hope I got that right. So we've got a winner from India, a winner from Denmark, and a winner from America. So congratulations. We'll get those signed posters out to you as soon as possible. And for reference, these are the lovely signed posters. All right, so let's get into some Idle Champions, eh? So if you've got any questions, toss them in the chat. My awesome moderators, Clive and Erica, will be updating me, and I'll run through the questions. And we're going to have some fun and play some Idle Champions. So let me pull that up. All right, bring this down a little bit because we got short folks on the camera today. And we're going to play through Durable Deep. I'm going to play through with a Core 12 on Durable Deep. Now for, oops, let's pull this up. All right, here we go. Oh, I thought I reset all these characters. All right, so Durable Deep is a variant on the Grand Tour of the Realms campaign. Sorry, too many things are popping up. There we go. Grand Tour of the Realms, and monsters have armored hit-based health instead of normal health, and we've got to get to area 225. So let's do this. Well, let's get through this. Oh no, should have put familiars out first. What have I done? Durable Deep is a very challenging variant, so excuse me while I get everything prepped. Let's see, we got a Pixie, we got a Mage Hand, we got a Gazer, we got a Mimic. Oh, I already put the Mimic there. Okay, so we got some familiars there. Let's fix our formation. Swap out for Brunor. Oh no, I need gold. Ugh, this is not starting out well. This is... wow. Okay. So let's reset. Let's try that again. Let's put Thriss out for a second just so we can help us kill these guys. I thought I had preset my lineup ahead of time, but I did not. How about you get in the formation and start doing some things? Okay. So let's get to some questions while I'm trying to get this all figured out. Hang on. All right, questions. What happened yesterday with the Explorers Pack yesterday? Was it a big miscommunication between several teams? Thunder Remix, thanks for the question. So I believe you're talking about the fact that we had some discrepancy in the launch of the Explorers Pack where it was noted that there were speed potions, but there weren't speed potions. Instead of speed potions, we had... we're going to play Mist of Ravenloft to start, because I did not get prepped correctly. Where we were supposed to have speed potions, and we didn't. Honestly, that's on me. I didn't verify the graphic as closely as I should have when it came out, and we had a bit of a miscommunication, but that's all on me. It should have been fixed. If you did purchase the Explorers Pack and did not get your potions of speed, please reach out with a ticket, an in-game ticket, and just mention you got the Explorers Pack, but you didn't get your potions of speed, and we'll get you hooked up right away. I'm really sorry for the confusion. Lots of moving parts yesterday. But yeah, the mix-up with the Explorer Pack was all me, and I apologize for that. Let's see. All right, there we go. There's Brunor in all of his champion Brunorness. And let's get some familiars out so I don't have to constantly click, and I can actually pay attention to questions. I hope everyone else's Thursday is going as good as possible. I'm very excited to be here. Let's kill that distraction and get some more champions out. So we got Celeste, we got Naeli with her champion Naeli skin. We got Jarlaxle. What does he have? Does he have his Party Time Jarlaxle skin? No, he doesn't. Let's fix that. Party Time Jarlaxle skin. Oops. Okay. And then Calliope. Ooh, yeah, let's get Delina out there. Oh, I can't recruit Delina yet. Okay, back to questions. Holy goodness, there's a lot of questions. I'm glad I'm not doing Durable Deep now, because there's a lot of things to talk about. How do you guys test out champions? Some champions fall below our expectations a lot. Delina is certainly not as great right now. Fiery Crystal, thank you for the question. We balance champions in a couple of different ways. We have a QA pass that happens after Justin is done with his balance pass, where Dylan and or I and a couple other people from the office will run through on their account with the new champion and try to get the balance feel, because it's not just it's not just balancing for new players, it's balancing for existing players. It's balancing for existing players with a bunch of different levels in gear. It's balancing for existing players with a bunch of blessings. So we want to make sure that across different levels that it lands. Sometimes we miss. Sometimes we go a little bit too high, a little bit too low in the power variance, and we do our best to keep everything aligned. But we have a very tight timeline between all the tech for a character being done and actually releasing them. So it's a very small window that we get through. And obviously our target is balance. Our target is fun. Our target is impactful champions that make you question different formations and try different avenues. And if we miss, I apologize. There's a lot of there were a lot of moving targets this week with so many different champions coming out. If Delina is not meeting expectations, we're going to be watching feedback, and maybe we'll get some tweaks in the coming weeks. Rec Feldman asks, what's the best way to get champions that you've missed? Well, that spins right into a call to action for this weekend. This weekend, and every weekend where we don't have an event, it's a time gate weekend. And let me pull up the time gates. So time gates are ways by which, I don't think I can get back to the map right now. There we go. Nope. Okay, so I can't pull up time gates while I'm in an adventure right now. Time gates are ways that you can collect champions and gear them up for free. Every 3 weeks, a time gate will naturally open. It's always on a weekend where there's not an event. And you just have to go to the time gate area on the screen. Oop, I'm all messed up now. There we go. Ah, look, I found time gates. You go to the time gate area. When it's a time gate weekend, the time gates will automatically be opened. But if you have enough time gate pieces, as I do, I have 17, I can open up a time gate on my own. But because the time gates are coming up within 3 days and the timeline for opening and closing a time gate is 3 days, I can't actually manually open a time gate right now. So in 22 hours and 46 minutes, you can show up in the time gate area and Kalar will offer you 3 different champions. And that is how you can collect and gear up champions for free. Giant Dwarf. Why the Tortle hate? Ashara's exotic races bond is missing Tortle in Warforged still. As it's right now, her Paragon ability can't kick in if you pick where it could and should. I got a little confused to the end of there. I will flag that to look at to make sure that we can catch all of our races in Ashara if possible. We do try to go back and fill in things as we get new races, but that doesn't always happen, obviously. Let's see. Rare Hall asks, is the new delay mob spawns during levels intentional? Before, if no mobs were on screen, a new mob would spawn immediately. Now there seems to be about a 1 second delay. I heard Justin and Mark and Dave putting their heads together on this to see whether it was a new bug, what system was causing the issue, and they were looking into that. So hopefully we'll have an answer for that soon. Let's see. Can we get Mink's favorite enemy percentage listed on his ultimate tooltip that the debuff confers? We can definitely look into that. Can we, Erica, if you wouldn't mind flagging that for me to look at afterwards, we'll definitely put that on the list. That's a duplicate question. Who do I have to cry on because of Spurt? Sarah Monstein. That's a great question. I believe you're talking about our April Fool's blog post. If you go to our website at idlechampions.com and look at the archive, you'll find that we posted an April Fool's joke about Spurt, the great Kobold champion created by Chris Perkins and that debuted on Critical Role back in January. We made a whole blog post about how he was coming to the game. And how great and impactful he would be. And he basically just sat there and was confused during the interview. It was great to interview him, though. It was very enlightening. But yeah, April Fool's joke. I'm sorry. We would love to have Spurt, though. We love working with Chris Perkins. We love working with Critical Role. And we love quirky characters. I don't know if you've played our games, but we love quirky humor. And Spurt was just our kind of champion. When people came in after the show aired, no one had any idea. We were just as surprised as the Critical Role crew was. And Spurt just warmed all of our hearts before he was squished by the fire giant hammer. Can another question about Warforged in total getting added to Ashar's bond list. We'll look into that. With the sunsetting of the Founders Pack, will there be another way to get the Celeste skin? That's a great question, and I'm going to move. Why am I just on the screen? Sorry about that. I get distracted a lot, and you know, I'm like, let's just keep talking. Let's see, elves and dwarves. Let's get some levels. All right, here we go. Jarlax, let's see. The leader of Bregendarth or the secret lord of Luskan? Let's go with the shady pirates. And level up and level up. And do we have his ultimate, which I'm very excited about? Yes, we have Raiding Party. Let's wait till we get on a tough level. So specialization, Shield Master or Battle Master. So Shield Master is the new specialization. It increases the effective rally by 10% per 10 seconds whenever a champion within 2 slots of Brunor is attacked. Interesting. Let's go with that so we can play with some fun placement. Let's see. Let's move this around. We are not optimized at all. Chat, why are you not yelling at me? All right. Let's move. Nope. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, we got Naeli with her Champion Naeli skin, by the way, for those that are curious what the Champion Naeli skin that comes in the WizKids booster pack is. That is it right there. Adam worked really hard to bling her out, and I'm really excited about where she landed. And the best part about Naeli is she's finally got a cape. All right, War Domain, and we'll move her forward. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's get Delina out here. It's been so long. Delina. Just throw her there. All right. Let's keep going. We got a lot of questions today. I think I asked a question and then I didn't even answer it. With the sunsetting of the Founders Pack, will there be another way to get the Celeste skin? Yes, but there's going to be a delay because the system to get the Celeste skin is not in place anywhere except for right here. So we're going to be sunsetting the Founders Pack. That's available right now with the Undead Celeste skin that you see on screen. Boo dialogue. And when we do that, we'll replace it with a different Founders Pack, probably with a different skin, and you won't have a way to get the Celeste Undead pack. But we're working on a new way. I've got most of the approvals through. I'm just waiting to get everything set up before we announce it, to allow players to get access to skins and familiars that are no longer available. So things like the Celeste skin, the Champion Naeli skin after the promotion is all done, the Party Time Jarlaxle, and the gift-wrapped Mimic. We're working on that because we want more players to be able to get access to it, and I think I've got a good system for you. But no news on that yet. Would it be possible to skip the first 100 or 200 levels when you're high level? The first 2 hours of any run does nothing for me. I don't believe we're going to be implementing a system like that. The thing I would suggest is Speed Potion. That'll get you through a little bit quicker, or throwing Deacon up and leveling him up to allow monsters to spawn a little bit quicker and help you get through things faster. Colette asks a question. Can we mirror the health/buff indicators on champions until the UI fix comes along, please? I am not fully sure what you're asking. If you can explain that in a little bit more detail, that'd be great. And I'll have Erica flag it for us to look into. With the Bruno rebalance, both of his paths now center around rally. Do you feel his variety has become too linear? No, because I think what we did is the first champion, we wanted to make sure that Bruno was easier for new players, and also rally is just so powerful that rather than try to make an equally as powerful sub specialization, we decided to play with rally in an interesting way. So the question now is, what's better? What's better? Is it I forgot what the other specialization is, but is it Shield Master or the other one? And I think that has to do a lot with the formation and where you can place him. So I think that is an interesting decision point for the first character that players are going to level up. So I'm pretty happy with where he is right now. Question from Legendary Dragon 75. How can you get familiars when they're so gem hungry? I believe you're referring to the gem costs being high for some of the familiars. We have familiars that cost between, I believe, 1,000 gems and 80,000 gems. And the reason for the spread is we want the familiars to be sort of an ongoing long-term goal. And as you're playing, as you play more and more and more, you have less and less of an incentive to purchase silver chests. And so we needed an outlet for the gems that you're collecting. And I want to put more things in the game that are purchasable for gems. But that's why the familiars are such a wide spread. So there's opportunities to spend those gems, but also long-term goals. You know, you got to get 50,000 for Juniper. I don't know. But you've got a goal, you can shoot for it. So that's why there's a wide variety of costs. Can we get a Blames Chris spoiler moment? Not today. Let me see. What can I say about spoilers? I'm super excited about the next two champions. Yeah, I don't have any real spoilers right now. It's been a busy day. I have no... Ooh, let's kill this Hero of the Veil. I gotta... So the reason I keep having hesitation... Here comes Jarlaxle's raiding party. Oh, all the cannonballs. All the cannonballs right after he died. I love using the Resurrected Hero of the Veil. For players that have played a lot of our adventures, you'll notice that the Resurrected Hero of the Veil continues to be resurrected. I think we've used him in 4 or 5 different adventures, and each time there's a funny joke about how does that guy keep getting resurrected? It's super fun. Let's see. Is there any way we can get a list? Get listed all the level upgrades in the character upgrade tab and highlight the ones we have gotten that we can see what upgrades are coming for their character. That's a lot of information. I think the next step to that, if we go to the Champions tab, now this is the console UI or the gamepad UI. If you're on Steam, you can switch it to gamepad UI. And I think we've got a much better way of showing all the upgrades and showing your progress on those upgrades. But it still doesn't list each upgrade by level. And that'd be a lot of information to put in the game. And what we try to think about whenever we try to put out more information is it too much? Are we overwhelming players? And I really like the efficiency of this window. You can see everything. You can see your current progress. You can see if you're maxed out. And I think this is a great way to show it, and finding a way to take this upgrade system and bring it into the base UI of the game is one of my goals for later this year. There's a lot of exclamation point blame Chris's, and I don't know what I did, but sorry. Oh, that's the raffle entry. Ha, okay. You guys are fun. Ginger Bucket Cat asks, coffee, tea, or Ovaltine? Coffee. Coffee all the time unless I'm sick, and then I will just drink tea like it's water. But right now I'm enjoying a nice latte. If I was in an adventure during the Strix Rosie event and didn't convert my favor back to the main campaign, is it lost? Did it auto-convert? New player, so a lot of this is still mysterious to me, or how it all works. Great question, Arksin, and thank you so much for joining the game. I'm super glad you're here, and I'm going to get out of this screen so we can actually see the game. So, when you're done with an event, you don't have to immediately convert the favor. You have a certain number of days to convert it. Now, veteran players will often suggest that you wait until the last possible moment to convert, because the conversion that you're getting from event favor to a permanent campaign is a percentage of the permanent campaign. And how far you got in the event tells you what percent. So between like 50, 75, 105%. So if you wait to convert it into the permanent favor, you can then take that permanent favor that you want to convert it to and bring it up just a little bit. Do a couple of runs, get 5 extra percent, and then your 105% bonus is being amplified even more by the extra effort you did before you converted. So no, your favor hasn't been auto-converted. If you go to the Blessings tab, you'll be able to see that favor from Lyra, I believe, and you can convert it into any of the 3 permanent campaigns. At some point in the next couple of days, I think you have a week to convert it, but at some point in the next couple of days, the game will force you to convert it. It's not going to do it in the background. It's going to pop up on the screen, and you won't be able to get out of the conversion window until you choose a campaign to convert it into. So what you can do is you can just let that sit, go play the campaign you know you want to convert the favor into, play a couple of adventures there, and then when it forces you to convert, you've got that extra favor there. Unless you've been pushing really hard in that campaign and you need that boost right now, then go ahead and convert it and jump in and get a good power boost. The other thing I wanted to note for Arksin and anyone else that's new to the game is we've got an awesome Discord community. If you go to discord.gg/idlechampions, and Erica and Clive will put that link in the chat, we've got a great community. We've got great moderators, great people playing the game and talking about the game. There's so many different forums that are going on that where players can talk about the game and give tips and tricks and point you to the wiki and get you all the information you need. So if you're enjoying the game, I definitely suggest joining the Discord or checking out the Idle Champions wiki for additional information. We try to put across as much information as we can in the blogs and make things as clean and clear as possible on the game. But there's always areas where there's questions. So you can feel free to ask us questions on Twitter or Facebook, join the Discord community, or chat in the in-game chat if you're on Steam. Let's see. Creepy Monster 83 asks, is it possible to get more hero chests in time gates aside from the 2? I normally just close it after 2 and go back to normal missions. No, there's two chests per time gate. So when you go into a time gate, you have 2 opportunities to gear up a champion. The first one will give you a gold chest for the champion and the champion if you don't have them. But if you have them, you'll just get the gold chest. The second time you go through, which is going to be 25 levels higher than the first time, you'll get a second gold chest. We also have the ability to play through free plays. So whenever you're done with your time gate, you'll be able to convert that favor just like you do in a regular event. And the free plays allow you to grind favor in that deity, so that way you can up that conversion percentage. Now, the time gate conversion percentages are much lower than a regular event, but that's because you're only spending 3 days getting that favor instead of 2 weeks. Let's see. How is the current formation's total DPS calculated? Mink seems to give that much of a higher than Jamila that does the same DPS. It's important to know because the ultimate scale from formation DPS. The DPS is calculated by the damage per second for each character. And I'm not exactly sure where the question of Minsk versus Jamila is. So Tungvin, if you can update in chat, give us a little bit more detail, I can come back to this question. How come Jarlaxle has got such a pirate theme? It's not like Breg and Dareth are actually pirates, even though one of them is a captain in Luskan. So we went with a pirate theme with Jarlaxle for a couple of different reasons. One, Dragon Heist has him, if he's one of the villains, it's themed slightly towards piracy and him being this swashbuckler. He's I don't want to give away any spoilers, but if Jarlaxle is your villain in Dragon Heist, he's a bit more piratey than normal. Additionally, we've got Ghosts of the Saltmarsh coming out in May, and that has a pirate sailor theme to it, so we thought it was a good idea to lean on Jarlaxle from that angle in order to highlight some of the new stuff that's in Dragon Heist and the stuff that's coming in Ghost of the Saltmarsh. Breeler asks, any chance to get a 2x speed boost permanently? I think I answered a similar question last week. I hesitate to have any sort of toggle or option for a permanent speed boost because while the speed boosts do help you move faster and quicker through adventures, they also make the game feel a little bit more jarring. And right now with speed boosts, you can opt into that level of jarringness for that adventure. But then when you come back to the regular game, you get reset to your base speed. And if you want to go faster on the next adventure, you can do that. If there was a permanent speed boost, you would just always be running that fast. You'd never be able to get to the dialogue. And yeah, I just don't see that as something that we do with the permanent blessings. Let's see. I'm going to move the questions over a little bit because I keep feeling like I'm moving away from my mic. Let's see. Can we get any updates on new content related to improving event champions levels / gear? I don't have any update for you right now. It's something that we know we want to address, but we don't want to address it as a patch. We want to address it as a system and a well thought out system to give you more opportunities to gear up those event champions outside of their event. So we're looking into it, but I don't have any specifics for you at this time. Can we get a hint about when we're getting the hinted lawful evil assassin? The game always needs more evil champions. Q3 or Q4 this year. It's not in the next couple of months. I've heard it stated multiple times that the game will only involve characters from the Forgotten Realms. So how are you reconciling adding heroes from High Rollers / Erois? Don't get me wrong, I'm super excited to have the High Rollers included. Well then, I don't know, like, just be like, yay, Erois. No. So the game is in the Forgotten Realms. That's not to say that we won't bring characters from outside of the Forgotten Realms with Wizards of the Coast's approval. For example, we added Warden, a Warforged Warlock, and he's not from the Forgotten Realms. We try not to go into too much detail about how the characters are in the Forgotten Realms, but because the TRPG is always talking about the other planes of existence, there are opportunities to cross those planes, much like the way that Strahd does it in bringing people to Barovia. So that's how we're bringing in characters from outside the Forgotten Realms. The game is firmly set in Forgotten Realms, and we need to make sure that we align with all the Forgotten Realms accoutrements and racial styles. But we are going to be bringing in characters from outside of the Forgotten Realms as much as we can with Wizards' approval. So that is how the Heroes of Erois are coming to Idle Champions starting next week with Ayla, the Storm Herald Barbarian. Let's see. This is a long question. I'd really like to be able to plan my level ups without having every character open in another Chrome tab. What resources are available for formation and the level up planning within the game? In terms of incremental level ups and being able to see all the level ups, I would point you to the wiki. You can see the next level up when you go to level up a character, but not all the future ones. So right now we don't, I don't have an answer for you besides looking at the wiki, because our fans are awesome and they keep that updated, and it's a great resource. In fact, I use it fairly often to double check my thinking on certain characters when I need to save time. Including time gates and events, how many chest opportunities or appearance of champions occur each year? That is a slightly complicated question, tells that. Let's see. Okay, so every 3 weeks you get a time gate. So let's say that's, I don't know, someone do my math for me. Every 3 weeks there's a time gate. You're supposed to get a time gate piece every 4 to 5 days, but it's pretty variable. So let's say once a month you've got enough time gate pieces to open one yourself. So there's at least 24 different opportunities outside of events to obtain and gear up a champion for free. Are there any other opportunities? No. So if you ignore events, you should have 24 different time gate opportunities throughout the year. Is the drop rate on the time gate pieces random or timed? It is slightly randomized and slightly timed. So don't quote me, but this is more of a Justin question. And since he was supposed to be my guest today, but has come down with the plague that is attacking the office, he won't be joining me. So that's why I'm piloting this Core 12 update, even though he's really the mastermind behind it. So I'm doing the best I can. Let's see. The time gate pieces are once you get a time gate piece, you're not supposed to get a time gate piece for, I believe, 4 days. After that 4-day time hits, then you've got a randomized trigger each time a boss is happening that would either grant you the time gate piece, resetting the 4-day timeline, or you would then get it later. Do you have to buy skins or can you earn them? Legendary Dragon 75. That's a great question. We have multiple opportunities to get skins. And I'm always looking for more because we've seen how excited the fans get about skins. So we're going to try and find more opportunities to get them to you. There are certain skins like the Founders Pack, the Explorers Pack, and Mink's Giant Boo Outfit Pack that you can see on my screen. That are available for DLC, and you can purchase those. There are certain skins that are available through the game. Right now, we've got the Pirate Bruenor skin, which I believe was a variant on Liar's Night. And then we've got the Strix and Evelyn Bee costumes, which were granted for free on a variant of Festival of Fools. Wow. I think those are then we've got promotional skins. We gave away a Donar Chef outfit skin for in the show book of PAX Australia, and the Champion Naeli skin is currently available in WizKids booster packs. So if you know anyone that's buying WizKids booster packs, see if you can grab one of those codes from them if they don't need them. And so we have a lot of different opportunities for skins. I can see skins eventually getting added to chests, or finding another way to get skins out there. We know skins are exciting. We've got plans for them. We have opportunities to earn them for free and to purchase them for DLC if you're into that. Could I repeat the winners of the Gleam contest? Sure. I'm going to have to butcher their names again, though. Where's that window? Oh, it's right here. The Gleam contest is... Gleam contest winners were Positive Buy from Bengaluru, India, Lise from Slaglis, Denmark, and Mikhail from the Bronx, USA. Okay. Now I lost my questions. Okay, so I got that one. Let's see. This is a big question. Okay, this is a long question. Let me get through it. Kevin the Monk asks, sometimes when I level a champion, it drops DPS. I'm confused why it happens. Any idea why this might happen? Sorry, I'm... Okay, so the general question, it went on for a couple extra sentences, were sometimes when you level a champion, the DPS goes down. We are currently chasing a bug where when you level up a champion, it recalculates DPS. There are certain times where a bonus to DPS is still active, even though the trigger that brought it into the game has cleared. So let's say, for example, someone's got a DPS bonus when there's more than 5 monsters on the screen. I'm not saying that's definitely the one, but while there's 5 monsters on the screen, you've got the DPS bonus, and when the 5 monsters go off the screen, or when it goes down to 4 monsters, that DPS bonus should clear. That DPS bonus is not clearing. So what we've done in the meantime to make sure that things don't get broken is when you level up a champion, it reevaluates all the DPS and recalculates it on the fly. And so what that's doing, and you just saw the DPS drop because some trigger fell off, and it dropped the DPS slightly. Something's happening during the game where a buff from somewhere is not getting cleared correctly. So we have a handler in the level up option that recalculates the DPS, and that's why you're seeing the drop. It's not you're leveling up the champion that's causing the drop. It's a bonus from somewhere that is not getting cleared, and we're still chasing that down. So I apologize. We're working on it, and hopefully we'll have a fix for that soon. Let's see. How do you know what weapon might drop through rarity? You don't. It's random. So there's 4 tiers of rarity for equipment. There's common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And those are the rarities within the game. I'm not sure what exactly Legendary Dragon's question was. Like if you could get a list of all the equipment. I'd point you to the wiki for that. Let's see. Question from Murky1988 is asking if Kat has any new passion projects going. Kat, what do you think? No. I don't know that she does. She put out the Monsters comic late last year, and that spread around social media, got really big, and you know, everyone in the office loved it. A lot of our fans enjoyed it. I don't know if she's working on anything in the background, so I'll leave that up to Kat to answer. I'm still missing Construct Eve. Yeah, I know. I'd like to get that skin out there. Coming soon? No, I have plans for DCA skins. It's just we can only release so many things at once. You get a Brunner skin this week. But no, Construct Eve is Evelyn is one of my targets for skins. Skins, outfits, costumes, whatever you want to call it. We like to call them outfits, but we fall back to the sort of the industry norm of skins, which I'm fine with, but in explaining it, skins can sometimes sound awkward without context. So I try to say outfits. Let's see. Sir Monstein says, speaking of outfits, would it work having skins change someone's faction for those to... Okay. Question from Sir Monstein is, speaking of skins, would it work to have a skin change a faction if someone's been a part of a team? And if you put on the skin, you could change their affiliation. For example, if we did a petrified Binwin skin, could we make him a part of the Waffle Crew while he's petrified? Maybe. I need to give that some thought. That's a really cool idea. Thank you for bringing it to us. My only hesitation is then there's another level of tracking or understanding when it comes to outfits. Which outfits have values that change the characters? Which ones don't? I hesitate to do something like that, but that could be a possibility in the future. So, Erica, if you could flag that for think about later, that'd be great. Let's see. Will we ever be able to select text in a chat frame on PC? We'll flag that for Dave to look into. They're normally only up on the screen for a few seconds, maybe in the journal with the journal update. but not currently. Yeah, Erica's laughing with me on that note for skins, because that'd be a whole bunch of balance stuff, but it could potentially be fun balance. Let's see. How do I access familiars that can be bought with gems? I have 8,000 gems, but I can't find the familiars in the shop. So that depends on your... Boop. No, okay. Sorry, I have the questions thing highlighted, and so every time I go back to the game and the buttons don't work, I have to highlight that window. So when you go to familiars, if you're on the console UI or the gamepad UI, you can see that, for example, Boo here is locked. But if I select him and hit buy, I can purchase him for the amount of gems. If you are on the regular Steam UI or the iPad or Android UI, you can go to the familiar box at the bottom, and it'll pop up the window of 12 familiars. And if you click on the one you're looking for, it'll show you the price. Let's see here. So many questions today. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me and asking all these questions. I apologize that I don't have all of them, but we're definitely passing things on, and we'll continue to look into things. The Core 12 update is still brand new. We got a couple of bugs to work out. We're working on those, and we appreciate you running through and giving us your opinion on these characters. We're really excited about the update. Colette asks, when a mob swarms a tank in the normal UI, you cannot see their health bar. If you swap the buff... Oh, this was going back to the buff health. If you swap the buff icons that nobody looks at, we'll have the HP bar on the rear so that you can see it no matter how many mobs are attacking. That is a great solution. We do have moving monsters back or making the health bar clearer as an ongoing issue that we're looking to fix, and we will definitely flag that suggestion as a possible follow-up. That potentially might be easier to do than what we were discussing. Let's see. Booch Games asks, is Ash's second spec bond supposed to be less than the first choice? It appears the second bond is short 200% times 3. I will flag that for Justin to look at from a balance standpoint. He may have not equalized the two specs, but that doesn't sound like him. So potentially we're missing something there, and we'll look into that. Thanks for bringing it up. Let's see. Minsk's boastful, even with it being every wave, a 10% chance for an extra spawn feels rather meh. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. We will look at that. Murky1988 asks, I asked last week about some way to bring players back to play more on weekends because in the later level, it doesn't feel so worth it. Is there any update on that? If so, what is it? So you're looking for more of an incentive to come and play on the weekends when we have the weekend buffs. I think we do have some systems planned to help with re-engagement and giving players more content, and I think that will solve the problem that you are highlighting, Murky, and hopefully we'll have more on that soon. Sorry to be so vague. We have a solution for that penciled into the schedule for the summer. I can't get into any more detail than that. Stormbringer GT asks, Elminster when? See also system in summer. Look at that. There's your spoiler for the day. Who was asking for their spoiler for the day? Let's see. Joker's Forever asks, Chris, I asked this a while back. Will our champions and familiars ever be able to get the option to cause ice or acid or stay the same with a boost for bringing it to certain levels? So you want to add specific damage types to champions or familiars. That is That is something that we could look into. It is a very, very, very large change. It seems like a simple change to just say this damage type, and you get a bonus. The challenge is actually on the monster side, because not only do you need to give the champions specific damage types, you also need to flag each and every monster and note their vulnerabilities and resistances. I think that would be a really cool update down the line, but it is a very large update to look at. Chris, can you say something if there will be different difficulties, i.e. if the player with 1E19 plus experience / gold seems a bit boring to slay through new missions so easy last months? See also more content for endgame players this summer. Telzat says, would it be possible to add a right-click paste to the code entry screen in the shop, or a paste button? Control V works, but not right-click. I'll add that note, and we'll see if we can incorporate it. I hesitate to have anyone waste any time on the code system, on the code entry system, because we're hopefully working on the new code system soon. That will be available to everyone, but that is a very good note, and we will keep that in mind with the new code system. I have a Reciprocitet asks, I still have a 4K screen and no microscope. When will I be able to read the interface and or all the text in game? So the game is built as a 720p game, and on a 4K monitor, that is small. I don't think we have any immediate plans to fix that, but that is a Dave thing. I know that he's talked about that a couple of times as the person that goes through and does most of the tickets. I know that everyone that's making tickets about that, he hears you. Let's see. That's most of my questions for right now. Let's see where we are on our adventure. Not nearly far enough. Let's see. Got to highlight the window. All right, so what else can we talk about? So this week, Core 12, WebGL, Congregate, C&E Games, and Armor Games, and the Explorers Pack with this awesome Champion Bruenor skin. Let's take a look at that. Oh, look at him go. Look at him. And for those that played through Liar's Night, we've got Pirate Bruenor, and then we've got Champion Bruenor. And yeah, he's looking pretty cool. Adam had a lot of fun, and I don't know if you can notice on the screen, but the eyes are actually like burning, and they've got little sparks that go up, which is super duper cool. Yeah, but it's so cool looking at the console / gamepad interface and looking at all the cool art this way. I really like it. Let's see what else we got for questions. Ooh, none right now. Okay. Let's see. Let's get Arcan up there. Bye, Nelly. You know, someone asked last stream what my least favorite slot was, and it's slot 12, because normally by the time I can upgrade Arcan or whoever is in slot 12, I've got a formation going. But let's run Arcan DPS today. Let's get Tyrell up there. We'll get Moonbeam. Moonbeam got a slight nerf, but a very, very slight one. And we're gonna replace Delina. No. We're gonna replace... yeah, let's replace Nally. There we go. And we're gonna move Tyrell back, because that'll help. Let's see. Okay. Giant Dwarf asks, I semi get the Moonbeef nerf for Tyrell, but why not buff his bear form? Also, can we give Barrowin a proper tank buff? Because when the... I can't parse the last sentence. Why not buff his bear form? We'll have to ask Justin for that, because he did most of the Core 12 rebalance. And I do not know why he chose not to buff the bear form. So I will ask that question and hopefully get an answer before he runs away sick, if he hasn't already. Note he is going on vacation this week or next week. So it may take a little while to get that answer back, but I will do my best. Narut, this user asks, is the console layout available for PC? I love the design. Thank you very much. I will pass that on to Adam, who worked super duper hard along with Dave and Peter and Jacob to get this UI working. It is available on the PC, and actually I'm playing on a PC right now with a gamepad. What you need to do is go into the settings menu and select Enable Gamepad UI. The game will close. When you reopen it, it'll look like this. And if you had a gamepad, just plug it in or set it up on Bluetooth and you can play Idle Champions like this on your PC. Let's see. All right, so let's talk about, it's 2 o'clock. We've got about an hour left, so I'll give Erica some time to collate some new questions. And let's talk about what's going on Idle Champions. We've got, next week, we've got Greengrass coming back. The return of Nurak and Ayla. Ayla's joining the game, a Storm Herald Barbarian, so I'm super excited about that. And then we've got the running coming up with Caddy Bree. So we got 2 really exciting events coming up. We just did the Core 12 rebalance. We're going to continue to have weekend promos, and we got a lot of fun stuff planned for the next couple of months. A lot of our tech time was spent on the WebGL ports, and now that that's out, and as we're dealing with small bugs here and there, hopefully we'll get some more tech time back, and we can start working on even more of those quality of life updates that you've been asking about. So it's my goal that we're going to have a very busy year in Idle Champions. We got a lot of low-hanging fruit. We've got a lot of quality of life updates. We got a lot of systems that we've designed, but we haven't implemented. The chest codes and codes in general, working on all platforms. I have to be careful. I'm just going to rattle off things, and I don't know if we've announced them yet. You've already had your Blame Chris spoiler for today. Question from American Nightmare. Is the base UI going to get a rework? This looks nice, and look this nice in time. I would definitely like to rework some portions of the UI, most specifically the portraits that Adam and Alexis worked on. They need to see the light of day on all of the UIs. So I'd like to get those in there, and I'd like to bring over some of the more impactful updates. I don't believe this UI is going to become the permanent UI for all platforms, because we need to take into account, we need to take into account the fact that players play this on a tablet, and some players in this UI might not work as well with touch controls. So as we get more tech time back, we can do more things like that. Is there an ETA on when old weekend GEs will be available? It is my hope that it is within the next 2 months. We worked really hard on the latest quality of life update. I was hopeful that we could get it in for that update. Unfortunately, we did not end up having enough time. But that is on the list. It is on the short list, and it is on one of the high priorities of that list. We've got new players coming into the game every day, and they never had access to a lot of the GEs that veteran players who've been around since September of 2017. So we want to find opportunities to get those available to other players without repeating weekend promos. So yes, we're working on that, and hopefully soon on that. A question asks, it's called green grass and no walnut. Yeah, I know. But we've got a plan for walnut's rollout. And I think you guys are going to find it hopefully exciting. Walnut is the last member of the C team, or the last main member of the C team that we haven't brought into the game. We have Cathris in slot 1. We have Rosie in slot 10. And we have that big boy Dinar in slot 2. But we don't yet have Walnut Dangrass. I always mix up which way it's actually pronounced. Walnut is coming. Walnut is coming this summer, and I think you're all gonna like Walnut. Okay. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Let's see. Thunder Mage asks, I know you probably can't make... I know you probably can't make any official statements, but in your personal opinion, what characters would you like to see added to the game? I heard recently that you guys did some Critical Role partnership. Yes, we sponsored a Critical Role episode in January. So welcome to all the critters that are now playing Idle Champions and going through adventures in the Forgotten Realms every day. We love the folks at Critical Role. Just like we love the folks at DCA and the C Team and High Rollers. And we are always happy to work with really excited content creators. And the folks at Critical Role are some of the best in the industry right now. So I would love to bring the Vox Machina or the Mighty Nine into the game. I'd love to, there's a bunch of shows that I'd love to bring into the game. Let's see, if I could pick... Well, I think if I could pick one champion that I wanted to bring into the game, I already did that, and that would be Farida, because I really enjoyed Aaron M. Evans's books. So we brought Farida into the game, and that was pretty exciting. And yeah, I'm kind of the worst person to ask, because if I want to get a character into the game, as long as Wizards approves, of course, I can get the character into the game, because I build the schedule. So yeah, that's an opportunity for a slip up. So I'm not gonna answer that anymore. Is there a way to see who is classified as a tank and what their overwhelm limits are? No, there's not at the moment, Mage Pie. But yeah, definitely finding a way to make their overwhelm limits visible is a good thing. And potentially we could start listing roles in the bio screen. So if we go to the character sheet, we could think about listing roles here somewhere. Yeah, that's an interesting question. We can flag that to look at, because I think that's definitely information that is useful. Thunder Remix, what is the estimate for the year 1 balance update? For reals? You just got the Core 12. I don't have an estimate, but given the feedback we're already hearing on the Core 12 being a ton of info to digest at once, I doubt. I would probably prefer to do the year 1 balance update in increments. So that way we can focus on maybe all the support characters and then all the tanks and all the DPSs. So that way we can roll them out a bit more frequently and maybe without changing up everyone's formation all at once. But that's where I'm at right now. And that's specifically because I've heard the feedback from players on Discord saying that there's a lot of info to digest all at once. Ronan asks, why did Bruenor get 2 skins before other champions got 1? One, just like I tell my daughter, it's not a competition. 2, it was just the right opportunity for Bruenor. We joked about Pirate Bruenor for a while. I don't know where that joke came from. But we were always joking about Pirate Bruenor, and Adam always wanted to make a Pirate Bruenor. So when I got the pirate-themed variant for Liar's Night ready, I sent that over to him so he could do Pirate Bruenor. The reason the Explorers pack has Bruenor is because it's celebrating the release on a new platform. So we wanted to have it be one of the first couple of champions that you unlock, we just chose Bruenor. We could have just as easily chosen Celeste or Naeli, but since Naeli's got an active new skin right now and Celeste is available in the Founders Pack, we wanted to. I chose to do Bruenor. That's not to say that the other characters won't get skins; they definitely will, but it may not be as equal as some players might want. Yeah, so I could see us doing another skin for Minsk before we do a Calliope skin, for example, like just pulling 2 out. We're gonna target the champions and the outfits and the moments that we think matter for whatever product or update it's going into, and that's gonna matter more than who already has a skin. Because I think it's better to say, well, this is a pack for new players, and Brunor is the first champion you have. So it's kind of perfectly suited to do Brunor there. It would seem super weird if it was a pack for new players and it was a skin for an Evergreen champion or a skin for Archon, because they're not going to unlock Archon too often early. So I want to make the right choices for the right opportunities. Any spoilers for next event? You guys and the spoilers, man. Gonna get me in trouble. I have no concrete spoilers that I can think of, or that I'm comfortable with giving away at this time. Ayla is still being balanced right now, and I haven't done a pass on her, so I don't know where she's landed at currently. So no spoilers for next week. How do I get Brunor's free skin? Brunor's skin, the pirate skin, was available as a variant during, I believe, Liar's Night. Chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. And that will be an evergreen availability during that event. So next year during Liar's Night, when we have another champion available, you will still be able to play through this year's event that has the Pirate Brunner skin available. If we were ever to take that away or stop the availability of that event, get the Resurrected Hero done, then we'd find another opportunity to put that skin out. It is our goal not to put out cool... cosmetics and then take them away. We want to continue to give players opportunities to collect them. Giant Dwarf asks, is Jarlaxle's Master Attuner working as intended, as its numbers, even with a full formation of 9 with 6 epics each... ... If you think that there's a balance issue or a bug with an updated champion, rather than reach out, please make a ticket. Let us know, because there might be a bug. I don't know for sure if that's working as intended. I don't know exactly. I can't finish the sentence, so I can't answer the question. But if you think there's a bug, feel free to either bring it to the... Yeah, just... We'll flag that for Justin. I'm just going to hand off everything to Justin. See, that's what he gets for not showing up at the stream, right? It's like, oh, we're going to do the Core 12. You're going to join me, right? And he's like, I don't feel good. Chris will continue to do his best to answer your questions live on the D&D Twitch. Erica, you got some splaining to do. All right. Brando Kirkland asks, you've probably had this asked before, but have you guys ever thought about adding a character creator or maybe a multiplayer so people can fight with friends? We don't want people fighting with friends. We want you fighting with monsters. No, for purposeful reasons, we don't have a character creator. One, it would just be a huge system, and there's so many different variables and so many different choices and so many different classes and specializations that we would spend a lot of the opportunities we have with champions on the generic character creator. And this is a different game. This is a different game than D&D. You're not playing you. You're not playing your character. Well, unless you're like Joe Manganiello or Holly Conrad or Anna Prosser. But you're helping these champions progress through their adventures. So that's why we don't have a character creator, because it's not an RPG. You're not focusing on your character. You're focusing on the champions as a whole. In regards to the second part, multiplayer so people can fight with friends, no, this is a single player game. It was envisioned as a single player game, and I believe tacking on multiplayer aspects is a very big question. Like, there needs to be a specific reason, and right now we'd rather focus on really exciting content, new adventures, new variants, new champions, rather than rejigger the whole system to make it work as a multiplayer game. Is Oh, what is an overwhelm limit? So when monsters are attacking, um, the tank can sit there and keep tanking, but we don't want tanks to be able to tank forever. So when the tank reaches their overwhelm limit of a certain number of monsters on them at once, the damage starts to go up, so they won't tank forever. Okay. Drake Finney asks, are you all opposed to other streamers showing / playing Idle Champions during their broadcasts? No, please. Stream the game. Play it. Talk about it. Like, yes, please. I believe we may or may not have the link, but Storyteller Mars, one of our free-to-play champions and moderators on our Discord, is actually going to be starting to stream Idle Champions. He's got his own setup going, and I believe he's streaming after this stream. If Clive did end up getting his link to his Twitch, feel free to put it in the chat, please, so we can get some viewers over at Mars's stream. And hopefully he'll stumble a lot less than I am today. Could you please explain events for new players? Absolutely. Thanks for asking. Okay, so throughout the game, when you're playing Idle Champions, there are 3 main campaigns. Where's the map? Map. Can't get the map. There are 3 main campaigns. There's the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, where you start off. There's the Tomb of Annihilation campaign that brings you to the Peninsula of Chult, and there is Dragon Heist, which takes place in Waterdeep. Those adventures and variants are playable whenever you want, as long as you met the requirements of playing X number of adventures in that campaign. Events, however, are unique limited time adventures that are only available for a 10-day window. So we normally release them on a Wednesday, and the event is active through 2 Mondays later. And during the event, that's when we debut new champions. So we started in year 1. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. We started in year 1, and the event would unlock a new adventure, 3 variants, and the ability to unlock and gear up a new champion. With year 2, we've lowered the costs of the year 1 champion adventures, so you can play through them more if you want. And we've introduced a new round of adventures. It's still using the same adventures, but there's new variants for the year 2 champion. And so as you're playing through the adventure and earning event currency, you can decide whether you want to go on a Strix adventure or a Rosie adventure in order to gear up those champions. And the only thing that it costs is playtime, because you're going to be earning event currency and you need to actively play during that limited time event. But that's the main way that players get new champions and gear them up. If you missed a champion, if you're new to the game and people are saying, oh, you got to get Strix, you got to get Strix, you can use the time gate system to unlock and gear up champions that aren't available in the current events. So if you go to the time gate, 3 options will pop up if you open the time gate, which is opening this weekend in 21 hours. And you can enter the time gate to unlock that champion or gear them up if you've already unlocked them. So those are 2 ways that players can earn champions and gear for them for free. We also have them available in the shop. I don't have any champions visible because I've got them all. But if you are looking for a champion and you're not willing to wait for a time gate or the event to come back around, you can always purchase them through the shop. Telstat asks, sorry for the noob questions. No worries. But do shiny and gold gear upgrades drop in normal gold chests? No. Shiny upgrades drop at a very high rarity in silver chests, and gold upgrades are only available through as sweeteners for different opportunities. So in the DLC packs where you can purchase a full rare suite of equipment for a champion, one of those items is also a golden epic. And the way the difference between shiny and golden epics is each piece of equipment has a rarity tier, and every time you go up in rarity, the values will bump up. Every time you get a duplicate, your level bumps up, which brings up the values a smaller amount. But as you get more and more rarer gear, the values that gear will give you increases highly. Now, if you upgrade a gear to shiny, whatever rarity you have, it's going to get a 50% boost. So a really big boost if you've got a shiny. If you've got a golden epic, it's 100% boost. So if something maxes out at 700 at epic, then the golden epic would be 1400%. So golden epics are a great opportunity to really push certain characters. So if there's one available for a weekend promo or one available in one of the DLC packs that you really want, that's a good way to target it. Otherwise, you can get shinies through direct purchases. And when you go to the shop, it'll tell you how many shinies you would get. So let's say, for example, I'm going to look at the gold category chests. And, oh, that's not good because I've got that shiny. Okay, so if we look at Ishis. So if you purchase any chests with Ishi, not only will you get the bonus for favor, or depending on which level you purchase, the bonus for damage, you'll also get her specific golden epic in addition to whatever gear is in those chests. Now, each chest group has a certain number of shinies that you could also get. So for 3 chests, there's no guaranteed shinies. But for 7, there's 1. For 16, there's 2. And for 42, you're guaranteed all 5 at shiny. So yeah, those are the different ways to get shiny and gold golden epic cards. And yeah, I think that answered the question. But they don't drop from gold chests. Kevin the Monk asks, sorry, let me get out of this screen. Ooh, we're in Ravenloft. Let's get some levels up. Ooh, Font of Magic or Tides of Chaos. Let's see. Increases the affected Delina's empowered spell ability by 200. Increases the affected Delina's surge of power ability by 100%. Well, let's look at what those abilities are. Empowered spell. Whenever she attacks, there's a 25% chance that the spell will burn for an additional 600% damage over 6 seconds. That sounds pretty cool. And Surge of Power increases the damage of Delina by 10% each time they attack, up to a max of 10 stacks. Stacks reset 10 seconds after reaching max stacks, or not after attacking for 10 seconds. So let's go with Empowered Spells, because I like that extra damage over time. Yeah, there we go. Empowered Spell. Font of Magic. All right, Delina. Let's get Ashar's Bonds up. And for those of you playing on the non-gamepad UI, you'll notice on gamepad and console UI, I can press and hold the button, and it'll just upgrade a ton. Super easy and efficient. You can do the same thing in the standard UI now by just holding down the upgrade button. So set it to upgrades and just hold down on the champion, and it'll just keep going through the upgrades just like this. All right, let's see. Any ideas of doing maps for new players with the default characters in pre-done formations to teach and explain what's going on? I know I was lost so hard at first in trying to balance my party's damage by not focusing on supporting one DPSer. That's a really great question, Sir Monstein. Unfortunately, there's a level of mastery in the game, and what we don't want to do is we don't want to just cookie cutter feed the best formation to a champion. However, making a learn to play video or a YouTube video about how to think about formation specifics is probably a good idea. If that's something that you're interested in, you could totally try that out. I don't know that we have the bandwidth to do something like that at the moment. So that's where the community really comes through on the Discord. They've got a whole formations channel where they talk about different formations. But yeah, I want players to learn, and I'm not saying that they have everything laid out for them in the best way right now. We'll get there. But if we just hand them the best formation, then there's no trial and error. There's no opportunities to learn and grow that level of mastery that then, at least for me, make me feel more engaged with the game. So, for example, I'm playing Magic Arena, and I could easily take one of the decks from the Magic Invitational that was in at PAX East this last weekend, and if I had enough wild cards and money, just create a deck that way and just play through, and this is the deck that won, so it's going to be really strong and crazy. But it feels don't know, it feels like I'm just missing some steps if I do that. I prefer to kind of build my own decks and then figure out what's working and what's not and kind of come to my own conclusions. That's not to say that every player thinks like that, though. So yeah, definitely thinking of new ways to engage players and help them understand the game quicker. That's definitely in the back of my mind. Could you make an easy way to see the DPS for all characters at once? Wow, that would be really good to see. Let's see. I guess Jarlaxle is doing 99% of my DPS. I think I need to update my formation. So on the gamepad and console UI, you can hold down left trigger and see a percentage of DPS that everyone is doing. In the main game, we don't have this yet, but we have talked about implementing it as part of the ways to take our learnings from the console UI and bring it back to the main UI. So yes, we definitely want to. I don't know that we've actually put in that hotkey yet, but we were talking about it. So I'll make sure that that's in the list. And we need to do some upgrades here. Let's see, is Makos? Makos isn't even in the formation. Let's do this. Nope, she's not in the formation. There we go. All right, how's that look? That looks better. Look at that, Delina. Delina rocking out. All right. Sorry if this has been answered, but do we know when the next Evergreen Champion will arrive? No, we don't, because Chris keeps pushing that off because we only have so much bandwidth. The next Evergreen Champion is either going to be from the Tomb of Annihilation campaign, Dragonbait, or the Dragon Heist campaign in Alcoria. And that's your second spoiler of the day. So I don't have the timelines of when they're going to arrive, but I hope to have one of them introduced in the game in the next 2 months. I apologize to keep pushing that off, but I need to prioritize the weekly updates and make sure that we're getting to the quality of life updates that everyone's requesting. It is an exercise in balancing and prioritization, which we go through every day to make sure that we're going to hit our timelines and continue to bring you guys really exciting content. Heartless888 asks, why is the UI so much cooler with a controller or whatever you are playing on? I started playing this game last week on a PC through Steam. Well, the reason why is because this is the gamepad UI or the console UI. When we were working on bringing it out for Xbox and PlayStation, playing on a console with a controller is a much different experience than playing with a keyboard and a mouse. So we needed to rethink the way that we controlled the game. And from that, and from the learnings that we've had about the game over the last year and a half, we were able to make a lot of updates to the UI to give players more information without overwhelming them. For example, things like the DPS list. Or if you look up at the Torms option, you see that if I end right now, I'll gain plus 0.003%, whereas in the regular UI, that just says less than 1%. But I like seeing the incremental increase, especially when you're high level, and it takes a while to get above 1%. So if you're playing on Steam, you can see this UI by going to the settings menu, plugging in a gamepad. Should work on any USB gamepads, and selecting display in gamepad UI. The game will close, and the next time you open it, it'll look like this. So if you're on Steam, you can play with the gamepad UI like this, just like players that are playing on Xbox and PlayStation. As I mentioned, we do want to bring some of the learnings back from this UI into the other UI, but I don't have a timeline for that at the moment. Okay. Artifexy says, hi, Chris. Most of the 12 got a lot better. Thanks for that. But Delina didn't quite make it up to par. Was this intended based on the upcoming buffers, or was she just a swing and a miss? Appreciate the update nonetheless. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. We do our best to hit our targets. Sometimes we miss. Sometimes a character might be a little higher powered than we anticipated. And Delina sounds like potentially a miss. I haven't spoken to Justin about his thinking yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to digest the feedback. We're going to watch what formations players are playing and see if there's any additional tweaks that need to be made in order to get these characters up to snuff. These are the first characters that you get in the game. And we want to make sure that players feel like they can play with them. I know that I haven't had Delina in a DPS formation for quite some time. So we're excited to bring these characters back into the fold and bringing in more options for formations. But yeah, if a character is still subpar and becomes a joke like Delina was, we're going to readdress that. Let's see. Let me make that one bold. All right, what time is it? It's 2:26. Kevin the Monk asks, is the gamepad mode supposed to work without a gamepad? Let's say I wanted to bind the 8 buttons on my mouse to UI binds, etc. If not, can you implement a hotkey editor? Sorry if you answered this before, but I may have missed it. No, Kevin, I didn't answer it before, but thank you for the question. The gamepad mode is supposed to work with a gamepad. Any attempts to hack it might end up with the game not working. I would suggest not doing that. We can definitely pass along your comment that you'd like to have a hotkey editor, and we can add it to our list of quality of life requests. Let's see. Heroism pots from Giant Dwarf. In opinion, heroism pots should almost buff shields and heals, as well as increasing a champion's quote-unquote resolve, overwhelm list limit / resistance. Thanks for that. We'll pass that along to Dave and Justin. So as we're reaching the end of the stream, let's see if I caught all my announcements. As I scroll down the question window, we got a bunch of questions today. I appreciate everyone's feedback and thoughts and concerns about the Core 12 update. As I've pointed out, we've worked really hard on it. The whole team's been in on it. You can see we've got new ultimate buttons for different characters. In fact, let's throw Delina's ultimate out there because I want to see that. Oh, maybe I should have waited till we actually get to a level where it can be useful. Let's see. Controlled chaos. That's awesome. Nice. Okay. Yeah, we've worked really hard on this update, but if you're seeing bugs, if you think that there is an upgrade that is bugged, please make a ticket to let us know, because if you just talk about it on Discord, we might miss it. We try to lurk and catch everything, but making tickets is the best way to get us the information we need to fix bugs, because when you make a ticket, we're able to link directly into your account and see your play history. So we can see if you send us a ticket that says, I was on this level and this happened, we can look back at the play history and see exactly what was going on behind the scenes. Did you get any exceptions? Did you have any issues? And we can get into a lot more detail without having to have you explain it or remember everything. So if you think there's something messed up, feel free to let us know, make a ticket, and we can get that looked at. In addition to that, continue to talk on Discord. Come join the community, discord.gg/idlechampions. We've got a ton of awesome people there that love the game just as much as we do. We do our best to lurk and participate in Discord chats whenever we can, especially when there's a quick fix that we're trying to implement. Discord's going to be the first place you hear about it. So please, discord.gg/idlechampions. Come join the community. It's a lot of fun. Again, next week's stream is going to be Friday from 9 to 11. We have a power outage next Thursday, so the joke around the office is that we're going to be playing D&D by candlelight. Fingers crossed that that's true. But we are going to be streaming next week. We will have some new content talking about Ayla, and that will be on Friday from 9 to 11 Pacific time. For everyone that's watching, you can see that I had Naeli's Champion Naeli skin out. Whoop, let me bring that up. I had Champion Naily skin out, but then I put her away. So let's bring her back out for a second. So if you too are interested in this Champion Naily skin, which you can get from an insert in the new WizKids Dungeon of the Mad Mage booster packs, or you can look around in the Discord community, see if anyone's giving away an extra code that they have. Or you can go to our subreddit, which Erica will link in the chat. And Ewok Chino, one of our community members, is going to be giving away some of the codes that they've collected. So please check that out. Big shout out to Ewok Chino and everyone from the community that has been sharing codes and helping players get the Champion Naily skin. If you have a code and you are on a console or another system another platform that doesn't allow codes to be put in, hold on to that code. We're going to make sure the system's backwards compatible so that way your code is still valid. It will not expire. Just hold on to it. We're going to get those codes working in the other platforms. And I had something else to say there, but I forgot. Let's see. We talked about the winners from last week's Gleam giveaway. We've released on WebGL on 3 new platforms. We've got the Codename Games portal at games.codenameentertainment.com, where you can play not only Idle Champions, but also Crusaders of the Lost Idols and Bushwhacker 2, our other 2 live service games. So swing by and give us a check. Check us out. We're also out on Congregate and Armor Games. If you go to those websites, we should be on the front page, or you can just search for Idle Champions. And we're really excited to bring the game to other communities. The Explorers Pack is a new DLC we just released yesterday. It's $10 US DLC. It comes with the Champion Brunor outfit that you can see right here, as well as 16 chests and a bunch of potions and contracts. And the other big update is, of course, the Core 12 update, which we're all playing through right now. So continue to try out the new champions, test some new formations, talk about formations in the formation thread in the Discord. We'll be watching, and we'll be excited to see what new formations you got coming out of the reboot. Let's see. Seeing if there's any new questions. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's most of the stuff that I have. Looks like the questions are drying up, so I think we're going to sign off a little bit early today. I got a bunch of things to get taken care of. With Dylan out of the office, we're a little short-handed, and with Justin going away next week, I need to make sure I get all of his updates in before he heads out. So I think we're going to close up a little bit early today, but thank you so much for coming by and chatting with me. I always love the opportunity to engage with the players and hear what's on your mind. So thank you so much for being here, for chatting with me, for sending questions. I'll be on the Reddit Q&A on Tuesday from 10 to 12. Swing by our subreddit and come ask me some more questions. And we'll have the new update next week with Greengrass and Ayla and Narak returning from last year. We'll have that next week, as well as our stream on Friday. So thanks for playing. Give us any tickets if you see any bugs. And thanks for being awesome, everyone.